Hope you guys are having a lot of fun on these projects in this class. Again, the main purpose is to help you to really understand what's underneath the covers in a programming language, how the bits are laid out in memory on every computer you're ever going to use. Eventually, there's something like this C code that is accessing it. Maybe it's inside of a Python interpreter, or maybe it's inside of a Java interpreter. But whatever it is, this is the way that bits are always stored on computers. So I'm really excited that you're now going to be working on this project 2. It's coming up here on February 10th. And so I thought it'd be good if we did a little intro to this and give you a vision of where you're going to go on it. And hopefully this will help you really pay attention to the lab prep and typecasting in C, because you're going to need this. In case you haven't noticed, these are each lab is actually building up to the project. And so I think you'll have a lot of fun with this project. It's one of these few times when you actually get to see whether you have a bug in your program instead of just noticing that it works by putting the right stuff, the right debug code in there. So let's just take a look at it really quick. Again, this you're going to be doing a bitmap filter. And so if we take a look at the bit bucket for this particular assignment, you're going to write a program to basically turn color pictures into grayscale. And the reason this is so interesting is because you're going to have to figure out what a color bitmap file looks like, and you're going to have to be able to read and write bitmap files. So I think this is going to be a lot of fun for you. And there's some starter code that you can get going here. And you're eventually going to have to compare your images with the images that are in this projects directory. So let's go ahead and take a look at this, and hopefully that'll give you an idea of what you're trying to do. So if we take a look at this repository, here's the bitmap filter one that you're going to be working on. And you'll notice in here we've got images, and so what you're going to do, for example, is you're going to pass it this image that has some horses in color, and then you're going to run your code on it, and it's going to create this horses that's in grayscale. Okay, so what you're going to end up doing, each of these pixels, every little bit of this picture is going to consist of a red RGB value, a byte for each of those, red, green, and blue. And so you're going to take this, each pixel, and take the average of the red, green, and blue and put that in all of the values, and it will turn it into grayscale. Okay, so hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of what you're going to do. And you can actually, if you want to, you can go ahead and look at those, at what you're outputting, and view it on your laptop, and you can see whether you've got bugs in your code by whether you're having the image come out correctly. Okay, so that'll be a lot of fun to work with. The other thing that probably we ought to explain to you as you get started here is the the format of a bitmap file. Okay, and so if you take a look at it, down here, here's the here's your starter code. Here's the functions you need to implement. Apply the filter to a pixel array, and the format, again, pixels are going to be, they're going to tell you exactly how the pixels are laid out. However, you'll notice that the bitmap format, some of the values are 1 byte long, like here, this 1 byte for red, 1 byte for green, 1 byte for blue. Some of them are multiple bytes long because it's going to be the size of the file. And so what you're going to have to do is typecast what you see coming in from this file and actually get it to recognize, again, bytes and shorts, 2 byte objects, and longs or 4 byte by typecasting them. Okay, so again, if you take a look at the bitmap format, here's the bitmap file info, and that will start telling you about what you can actually expect. So if you look at this PDF file, then you're going to see that it has a, yikes, here's the format. So you're going to have a bitmap header, then this div header, then the pixel array. And the header is going to look like, first of all, a 2 byte thing that is the header field, then 4 bytes, the size of the bitmap file in bytes, 2 bytes that are reserved, another 2 bytes that are reserved, then an offset for the first byte of the pixel array. So then you're going to go to that offset. You can go ahead and just read the whole file that you're given into memory. Then you'll then know these offsets from the beginning of your array to figure out where things are. And so if we take a look at what's going on inside of here, again, you'll have the size of the header, the width of the bitmap in pixels, the height of the bitmap in pixels, the number of color planes, the number of bits per pixel. So again, you could have more in 1 byte. Again, you remember you can have 256 different values. Theoretically, you could use more bytes and have even more color values. Here you'll end up with image size in bytes, horizontal resolution, vertical resolution, so that they can display it correctly. And so first of all, you'll have to read in that header to figure out what to do. Then after that comes this pixel array. And this pixel array, if we were to take a look at this, again, here's pixel 1. There's red, green, and blue for pixel 1. And since they're all zeros, it means it's going to be a black color, right? The next one, 255 is the largest value you can get in a byte. So this is going to be 255, 255, 255 is going to be white. Here's another white one for 3. 4, you'll notice, is about half on, which makes it kind of this gray color. So you'll go ahead and read all the pixels and watch out for these row paddings, because we want to start on 4 byte boundaries. So you'll again get into that as you start looking through here. So I'm going to try to make these videos as short as possible so you guys don't get too bored. But start working on this. I'll probably make another video to give you a hand once you get going on it. But I thought if you kind of know what's coming up, this is a non-trivial lab, right? So get working on it and make sure that you do the project. Make sure that you do the labs to prepare you for this project. So with that, we'll wish you well, and let me know if you need any help on any one of these particular topics.